beautiful day. Beautiful day to have some recruits on campus and play a little football. For the second scrimmage in a row, I thought the offense had their way. We're a lot more efficient throwing the ball this week than we were last week. I know there were a lot of yards and numbers, but the efficiency of Nick and the ones was extremely good today. I would bet he'd be close to 75 or 80% completion percentage. I think the ones might have been stopped just one time today. They did a nice job in and out of personnel and plays and moving the ball. And did a really good job defensively. Again, didn't play very well, and when we put the ball down and play, just not playing with the urgency that we need to play as a defensive football team right now. And we got to figure out how to fix it. The only way I know how to do is just continue to work and continue to push the guys.
Were you able to do a little bit more today just because you had full field to work with?
Yeah, we were able to have full drives, and offense, I think, went on one on the minus 25, one on the minus 30, minus 35. That was before half. And then we had a 1 minute drive, and then came back second half and did minus 40, minus 45, 5 drives, and then they had some short yardage situations, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and then we played an overtime, which was like the third overtime where if you scored, you had to get a 2-point play. So probably around 100 snaps, maybe a 10 to 15 more than we had last week, but it felt more like a game because we were outside in full field.
Is it hurting defense some that you've got so many guys out?
Well,
injury-wise,
it would be easy for me to say yes, it's hurting our defense because we've got these guys out. But we talk about not making excuses all the time. So we as coaches don't need to make excuses. We got what we got. We got to make sure those guys are ready to play and go out and play hard. You're limited. We don't have a nickel right now. We're having to use Trey Thomas and Kyle Robinson at nickel, and puts our defense at a disadvantage a little bit. But we're going to be in tough situations during the season, and there's going to be injuries. And the main thing you can control is your mindset, and we got to have a better mindset when it's time to scrimmage.
Have you seen anything positive that you kind of like on the defense in the midst of?
We did 4th and 2, 4th and 1. We had a great stop on the short yardage situations by the defense. Defensively, I remember a play where Sweet ran Dietrich Clark down. It was a long pass play, a catch and run, probably a 50-yard gain, and Justin Sweet ran him down and tackled him on the 3. And that's a teachable moment if you can get a stop, but we didn't. Gave up a touchdown pass the next play, but that's the kind of effort that you got to have. And there's no doubt in my mind that we can be a good football team, but we cannot say what we don't have or what's missing. We got what we got. We got to go out and play, and that's the challenge for us as coaches, and that's the challenge for our leadership on this football team, and that's the challenge of each individual player on both sides of the ball. We've got to continue to work offensively as well to push ourselves. And I don't want the offense to take the throttle off because that's going to make us better defensively. So continue to push and continue to play fast, which they did, which caused some problems for the defense today by the fast pace and some substitutions, and we weren't able to get set and get our cleats in the ground. When it's not situational, we're not playing good. I think the offense is just ahead right now of the execution of what they're trying to do, and defensively, we're not executing the call the right way. And then you're going to get whipped. There will be times that receiver's going to make a great play or the back's going to beat, but lining up and knowing what's called, we got to do a better job of that.
Mike, you talked going into spring drills about being way ahead of last year. Do you still feel you were ahead of where you were last year at this time?
Yeah, I feel like we're way ahead offensively of where we were last year. And then we got a lot of returning guys. You've got experienced offensive line, and with your center who calls everything. You've got experienced quarterback. You've got experienced running backs. You've got experienced receivers. Tight ends are the guys that have zero experience. We have zero because Dalton is out, and they've done a nice job. Really proud of Johnny Freismuth. Was last spring too. He's got to carry over what he did in spring through the summer and fall camp. Defensively, I think we're ahead in knowing things. We're just not executing them. I'm setting all the defensive meetings this spring. We're answering the questions and understand what we're trying to do conceptually, but we're not playing through our concepts as fast as we need to play. You got to play with emotion. You got to play fast on defense. We're thinking too much and reacting to what the offense is doing instead of us defensively making the offense react to what we're doing defensively.